Intuitive viewers, and welcome. I have three friends with me today. I have friends.
She has friends.
I have Andrea from Lilac Lantern.
Hello.
I have Debbie from Freebird Spirit. And I have Lizanne, who is an amazing card creator. She created the everyday art cards, which are amazing. And she's from her house, right? You're in your house, right?
I am in my house. I'm in the house. Yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, so we're going to talk about cards today, and all of you have created the most amazing decks. I first want to show you what I picked today from each of your decks for today, for this conversation, kind of just, a message from Spirit about this. I got this from Debbie's. So I got Harmony from Debbie's. I got the rainbow card from Lilac Lanterns. And then I got the same card that before we came on, Lizanne had picked the same card from her deck that I had picked today. So kinship. So I love it. So I wanted to just kind of talk to you guys about the creative process. Oh, did you pick that from Andrea's house?
Yeah, house. We just said house.
You're in the house.
You're in the house.
We're in the house. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about your decks, the creative process, the spiritual process behind it, and just that decision to do something like this, and kind of and allow other people to buy it and have it, and what that has meant to you. So I kind of just want to go around and talk to, maybe we'll just go in alphabetical order, and we'll start with Andrea. But what inspired you to create your card deck? And I just love your card deck. Everybody has said they love them, but they're so simple and so cute, and oh my humble. Gosh,
I got the same one. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
That's awesome. So Andrea.
So that's the first deck. I've made 3 decks. So that's the first deck I made.
Oh,
and this is
I don't have your other decks. So tell me.
Intuition deck.
So talk about those as well.
So Intuition deck. There's also my clarifier cards. They look like that on the back.
Nice.
And there's my lovely Oracle deck. So those are the 3, the 3 covers, and then they each look different inside. So if you ever would have told me I was going to make a deck of cards a couple of years ago, I'd say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So when I was getting the sense that I was going to do a YouTube channel, it was almost instantaneously, I got a download of a deck of cards in my head. I could see them. And it was this deck, the Intuition deck.
Oh my gosh.
I saw every single card, and it just sat there in my head. And I thought, well, I don't make cards. I don't know why I see this. And I kept getting a headache. And I got a headache until I made them. So I bought myself a plain deck of cards, and I drew each one, right? And as soon as I did that, the headache released. It just released, because I guess I was supposed to be doing this. So that's how they came to be. It was literally a download, something I wasn't expecting. And I was obviously pushed to do it. They're very simple, humble. It's colors, imagery.
Love it. Yeah.
There's no rules, it's just you put the cards down and you're going to start to see a story.
Mm-hmm.
It does come with a thought starter PDF if you want, but I really encourage people to use their intuition when they throw with these cards. I could read on anything and everything just with these cards alone.
They're amazing, and I use them all the time. And even though I think that's a misconception, because I don't use the cards when I read on my channel, when I do stuff on my channel, but I do use cards all the time. I use them for my family. I use them when I'm feeling like kind of disconnected, and I need that extra validation, or just but they're just cool. They're just fun to have and fun to look at, and I love them. So how long did this take you, Andrea? Because you had a headache for how long?
Well, it was the idea that I even had a deck of cards in my head that I had to come to terms with, because that's not something I was going to do or had ever thought
Right.
of doing, and wondered, well, what am I going to do with them, and why would I make them, and who would even, I never even thought they would sell. It was not even anywhere like that. I used the deck, my little hand-drawn deck. I used it for about a year plus, just on my own on my channel, and people kept asking for it. And I thought, nobody wants my deck. And then I went ahead and made it, and people bought them, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, they did.
Amazing. And I think it's very gentle and very clear.
Yeah.
You have to
Absolutely.
let your intuition sit with you to read them, because there's no rules, right? There's not, this card means this and this card means that. Now the clarification deck is a little bit more straightforward. It's not hand drawn, it's imagery with words. So a little bit more.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
So that deck is a little bit more structured. And that also I knew was in my head. And that probably was like 6 months after the fact. And then the Oracle deck is there's a lilac lantern. Very girly and lovely and fun and whimsical a little bit. And an Oracle deck, you just sort of pick maybe one card to see, like, what's my day going to be like today, or, this person or that person. So Oracle decks, you generally maybe use 1 or 2 cards each time, whereas the other decks you could use to read a lot bigger story. And you can put these together too. You can make it a 90 card deck.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so that's what she said.
This one's 60, this one's 30 cards, but you could put them together and use them as one whole deck.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And what an experience though, to could see them in my head and then to draw them. And obviously you can see I'm not an artist.
They're so cute though. I love them. I mean, I love them. And they're so clear. Like you said, it's so obvious. Well, it is and it isn't, right? Because you can, I know, like for the present, you've interpreted it, I think, as like the present, or is that how you usually use it, as like the present, like now? Because whenever I see the present, I always think of like a gift from the universe, that kind of thing. So you have your own interpretation. Yeah.
There's many ways to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love them. And so, how long did it take you? For this first deck, how long did it take you? Do you even know?
Once I bought the blank deck and I bought a set of markers, it just came from
Wow.
one after another, just to get out of my head.
That is a download. Yeah.
This is the one you're talking about.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Or a surprise.
I've interpreted this many different
ways,
depending on the whole reading.
Absolutely. So Debbie, your deck, same question.
I forgot the question.
Oh, sorry. What inspired you to create your deck?
Oh, well, okay. So
what started the process for you?
What started the process for me? Well, it was getting close to Christmas, back in 19, no, it was a long time ago, back in the day. And it was getting close to Christmas, and my beautiful partner, Shannon, is hard to buy for. She has everything she needs, wants. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to make her a deck. So I'm literally laying in bed. It was like I was down to the wire. I'm like, I have to get this order in to be able to get it back, right? So I search online, card making. You like that. But let me pause there, because before that, I had, as Andrea did, bought a blank deck, tried to draw on them, tried to create, thought I would create a deck by drawing. And I just didn't have it in. I was too, I didn't think, oh, just draw a a lightning bolt. I didn't think that. I'm like drawing like intricacy, and I'm like, this is going to take 1,000,000,000 years. I'm not an artist, but I want to have a deck of cards. So I still have a blank deck of cards right over there. Anyway, so that's where it first started. But then, okay, so now back to the story. So that, you know, that night I got on and I created a Lenormand deck. And this one, the first one, it doesn't have words to assist or anything like that. But it has the traditional Lenormand cards in it. And so I went on and used some of my own photos, and then some that were, you know, that you could get online that were for free that you could use, and created the deck. And it took me literally maybe an hour and a half at the most, and got these created and sent away for them. And so you could do the little back, put a little picture on the back there, so you can see the free bird theme going on there. But then that, so then I use these a lot on my channel. I ordered a deck for me and then obviously a deck for her for Christmas. And people kept asking me like Andrea, do you sell those? Do you sell those? I'm like, no, I wouldn't sell these. I literally took me half an hour to put these together. So, and I just didn't even think about it. And then Andrea did her cards, and it started to spark, well, yeah, I could probably do a nice deck and create it, you know, with the words on it to help teach people how to do Lenormand if they wanted to. So I started that process, and the first deck that I put out is the white background. I don't have them right here, but I think Lizanne, yours has the white. And while I was designing the, you have the dark one. Okay. So while I was designing those, and, you know, what came to me, my spirit drop-in was to do the oracle cards with them. So I added the 16 oracle cards to add to it. And you can use the 16 oracle cards with the Lenormand, or you can just have them separate and use them that way. I like to use them with them because I think it adds to the story. Yeah, like that's one. The one that you drew, Kim, with the together. Yeah, so that's, these are examples of that. And so the art on these are pictures that I've taken.
Oh, so cute. Yeah.
And just were perfect for what the messages Spirit was dropping in to put on the cards. And yeah, so
love it.
I created that. It wasn't a big process. I used the same platform. No, I didn't use the same platform. Yes, I used the same platform as I did for these. And yeah, just did it. And like Andrea said, I couldn't believe that people, it just feels so interesting when people were so encouraging and kind to support me in this and purchase them. It's a different feeling, right, Andrea?
It is. And it took a lot of courage for me to hit the button to put them on sale on the site.
Yes.
The site that they're on sale for, because I almost didn't. I thought, no one's going to want this. This is stupid. It's not good enough. You know, it's my hand drawings. Like, is anyone even going to get it? And there was something about it. I knew it was supposed to be exactly as I made them. So I had taken pictures of the original cards and had them enhanced by a designer. Because they had faded as I had used my original
right.
deck. So she helped me out greatly. And
well, and you spilled wax on it.
I was gonna say, I remember when you spilled something
I was like,
you're like, oh my God. my headache.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
And I had it all set up on the site. You know, uploaded the images and the cell, and all I had to do was hit make it go live. And I just sat there looking at the keyboard, and I didn't know if I could hit enter because I was, I don't know, shy, or didn't know if people would buy it. If this is, it's not, I don't have that kind of confidence, right? I didn't think, and I just had my hand like this, and I looked up, I said, what should I do? And my hand just went boom and hit enter, and it went live. And this gust of air just came out of me like, oh, I did it. I actually followed through, and I had the courage to put it out there. And then people, it's amazing.
People bought it.
Yeah.
It's so supportive and so kind and loving when someone purchases it. It's just like it's like a hug from everybody.
It really is.
Somebody bought something that I made is just, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a really beautiful feeling.
And Lausanne, so your deck is gorgeous. I mean, and the box is gorgeous. I mean, even the box is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's straight up fancy.
Amazing.
Mine comes in a bag.
Yeah.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Sides,
And
yeah.
So
Yeah, you have
Lausanne,
silver on the side, right?
They're rainbow holographic. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you
I have to.
you put so much time, and talk
you
about
did.
your process, because I know this took you a long time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, first I have to thank Andrea, because she had a show with Kim and she talked about her cards, and she told Kim, I'm sending you a deck of blank cards. And actually, yeah, so then I got a deck of blank cards. We got these small ones, but I wasn't sure what to do with them. And then, yeah, so my background is in the art world. I've always, since I was like 18, worked in the art world. I was always an artist, and my first internship was at Sotheby's auction house. And, you know, so I've always been around art. And then,
and trust me, you can see it. You can see that art background. You really can. So yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's the fancy also. You know, I've been around a lot of fancy in my life. So yeah. So yeah. And then I had for the last, I don't know, 15 years or so, I've been working with a friend in the art world. And we're making books on private art collections. So we did a lot of publishing and for collectors and whatever. We were always like, we wanted what we were doing to feel more spiritual, more aligned with us. It wasn't like money, money, money. But anyway, so when we were over COVID, we were not getting together and physically, well, we weren't really working. And I took a lot of walks in my neighborhood because there wasn't a whole lot else to do. You know, I remember the day I heard the Metropolitan Museum closed. Oh, I'm in New York, by the way. So I was like, what? The Metropolitan Museum? Anyway, so there was really nothing but my neighborhood. So I did walk every day. And the things that I used to hurry past, I ended up, you know, noticing and enjoying. And that's kind of how the everyday art, you know, was like, that was I'm like an art junkie. And that was, you know, my fix. I have this expression, the appearance of the physical world is one of life's greatest pleasures. So, yeah. So just stopping, you know, and seeing things, you know, I remember once I saw a little kid walking down the street and there was a puddle and she goes, look, you know, it's just like there's so many wonders, you know, around us. So anyway, I took a lot of pictures. I mean, I always do anyway, but that was that. And then when I did get together with my co-collaborator, I'll just call her Helen from now on. So over COVID, I took classes with Debbie and Kim, and I cherished every single one of them. I even took one twice. Not that I failed, but like
no, you didn't fail.
Just loved it. So I did it twice. So I was sharing that with Helen, and Helen did a deep dive into Feng Shui over COVID. She was always kind of knew something. Yeah. And she became certified. She's like a master. And so initially, when I got the little cards, the little blank cards, I put these paintings, another artist's paintings on them. and I was spraying them with, you know, gloss, and I put these quotes from the artist that I put, whatever. And I showed it to Helen. I go, oh, look, this is so cool. Look what I'm doing. And she just went, that's it. And I go, that's what? And because these paintings were single color, you know, like this artist, like a very red one or a green one. Anyway, Helen saw the feng shui connection. So between the two of us, we just had so much fun. Like kids playing. We were like compulsive. We're like, want to get together next week? And then she would tell me, we need more purple. We need things with columns. We need things with triangles, because those are feng shui symbols. So I would run around and take these pictures. So we ended up over like 2 years, just kept making them. We never thought about selling them either. It was really just for us. And then my intuition abilities skyrocketed. And I was really enjoying it. And I just, you know, anyway, the cards and the intuition and what I was studying and seeing things and, you know, being able to jumpstart the intuitive process and sharing that. And so that was kind of how it all started. And then we kept redoing them. And I was like, I don't want any words, and I want them small. You could tell I'm not very forceful, because now we have words and they're the larger size. But I mean, sharing them with friends, you get feedback. And so that's kind of how they grew.
Yeah,
So
they're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And did you, what about, I'm just curious about the box, because the box is so cool. The box is so neat, how you have it's done and how you have the little thing. And
yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was at an art fair, back to fancy, and you know, doing my thing with the client. And then one booth at the art fair had these tarot cards that these artists had made. They were these abstract designs based on Hilma Klint. Anyway, she's this Austrian artist that's amazing. Anyway, from a long time ago, that was spiritual. So they had these cards, and I was like, oh my God. It was $100. I bought it, gave it to Debbie.
I was just going to say, I have them right
oh
over
my
there.
God.
Yeah,
They're gorgeous.
but
Yeah, you guys.
I loved the box. You know, that box was a magnetic box, had the little thing. So yeah, that's kind of how we did it. And then we have this designer, a graphic designer, that worked on our books with us, and, you know, a lot of the other projects that we did for our company. So we went to him, and he was so into it. So he's the one that did all this.
Yeah,
You know, the basic design. Yeah. And yeah, they are. Thank you.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And
so we feel, in retrospect,
Yeah.
you guys got downloads. I can't say I got a download.
Right.
But in retrospect, I feel like the cards made themselves. They came through us, but not from us, because we had hundreds and hundreds of images, and we kept rewriting things and and now they're like perfect. So
I think that's a wonderful
seems so
way.
it seems so meant to be, and so organic, because you were trying to bring the art back into your own life, and
Yes.
through that you brought the art world to just everybody, to, you know, selling your decks. So it's such an organic process. It just it's really neat.
Thank you.
So do you guys remember the very first card that you did in the deck?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. That was a question I had. I'm like, I wonder if they even know, but maybe you do.
So all of them, I decided to draw the blue one first, and I don't know why, but that was the one to come out first. And I think you'll let me know. It's got something to do with the throat chakra. I feel maybe the voice coming, like, because like you just said, this is something that came through me. I really love how you said that. And I think this is, to me, it's the creator's voice, trying to come through in the cards to help people understand things.
In Feng Shui,
Absolutely.
blue is the color of intuition and knowing. So you'll see. Yeah, we have on the back of our cards, we have these like Feng Shui symbols. This is green for new beginnings. This one is for health. Trying to find a blue one. Blue. the blue ones are for intuition and knowing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the color. Yeah.
Humility, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Stay
And-
humble, Andrea.
Try. So I did this one, and they all just one after another came out after that.
So what is blue? Like if we were doing a reading and I asked you a question and the blue card came up, how would you read that?
So this card could be any of the following. Could be a throat chakra, could be a male, could be the deep ocean, could be water, could be feeling sad, like if you feel blue, like there's just any kind of way. There's many ways you could read it.
Could be democratic.
Could be the Democrats, exactly. If I'm looking, if I want to know something about a person, what do they look like? I might get blue eyes out of it, right?
Oh, right.
So there's many ways. So to me, every read is different, as you guys know. So cards take to me a whole new life every single read.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It could mean,
Love it. And what about you, Debbie? What was your first card?
Surrender.
oh,
And,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And it's release the false narrative and take back your wings.
Oh my gosh.
I just,
Perfect.
100%. I feel at the time when I was deciding to go ahead and create these, that that was the narrative happening at the time, when everybody, I think we were all talking about it on our channels and everything, about this narrative that it's like, wait a minute, we have the ability to change this narrative. And so that's kind of where that kind of all started from, but this was the first card I made.
I love it.
I do want to say though, Lizanne, the feng shui is very evident here. It's very powerful. And
Thank you.
feel very drawn to that as well. So you can give that back to Helen.
Yes. Oh, thank you. She would be so happy. Yeah, she uses the cards. She's got a feng shui practice. So if she comes into somebody's house and they need more, they need career advice, they need more water, that's water. She will put things in a certain area. Or like, for instance, if you have like a bathroom or a sink where it should be abundance, that means your abundance goes down the drain. So she, will put the purple cards there. So she uses them for fixes. Or my husband had a health issue at one point, and we put all these orange cards around the bed and, like that. So I don't know which is my first card. So I'm actually kind of lying right now. Yes, I'm being honest.
That's okay.
Intuition told me this one, Grace, which actually my daughter Grace took.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's actually scallions or chives. Those are chives.
really?
But,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What's on the other side of that one?
Oh, it says accept all gifts.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it's an abundance card. It's purple. It's for abundance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did you guys feel with, sorry, I was just wondering.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I did, it took me a long time to get to the confidence or the whatever to start drawing the first one or making the first one, right? Because I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? But as soon as I did it, it was just like that release and like that excitement. Did you guys feel the same way when you did your first card? Like, it was like, okay, now we're started. I've started.
Yes, and I was in love with my first card.
Oh,
I loved it. Like, I loved it. Everything about it made me feel good. Yeah, that was important.
Right. And it was like you did it. You've made
so, and I knew that no matter what, even if I just made these and no one ever wanted them, I wanted them. And so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I gave mine away. Typical me. I made it was only like 10 of them or 16 of them that I made for this artist. And I thought they were really cool. I love them. It was her paintings and I gave them to her. I mean, I love them. But these, I don't know, took a really long time, I guess. We just kept making them. We had so much fun making them that we just kept making
That's
them.
wonderful.
Right.
It is. It's a fun creative process.
Well, and that kind of leads me to my next question, which is what you learned through the process. What was, so Andrea, let's go again. We'll just go, alphabetical order. But what did it teach you about yourself and about, I don't know, the world and whatever? What did it teach you during go through the process of making your cards and then putting them out there into the world?
I guess many steps, the acceptance that there was a deck in my head and I had to make them. So I did it. And then I used them and I could read them as easy breezy as anything. I could read on any subject. So they worked. Then people were in, like other readers were asking about them and the viewers. And I'm like, oh, really? And then you should make them. I'm like, no. Finally doing that. You can think a lot of things are overwhelming to do, but it's just a little bit of research and a passion. And I think when you are doing something that's right, it finds you, right? Like it wasn't that difficult to find a place to print the cards, and it wasn't that difficult to make them as I might have thought. If I would have overthought it in the beginning, I probably never would have done it.
Right.
But it was really easy. It just all vibed. And the thrill of the first sale. So it was just so amazing. And the confidence, not boisterous confidence, but gosh, I made something and people buy it. Like that's a big thing, because I never would have thought that before. I would never would have thought I had something to make that people would buy. It's so
gratifying.
Yeah.
It's so gratifying.
And the fact that the three of us have made something that's helping people, right? Like helping to get answers or connecting to source or whatever. Like we've made something really, it's not frivolous. We don't feel it's frivolous. And I think that is really, that's deep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Debbie, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like what I was deep into creating a platform and growing this thing here, and that I was ignoring a big side of who I am. I'm very creative. Now, I create a lot of things. They're not great, but I love the process of creating. I paint. I mean, here's one of my first paint, actually, probably my first painting right there. But I love getting my hands into things. I make jewelry. I do this. Creating. Okay, I'll create that. Oh, we're going to knit. Okay. And I can do all those things, but I don't do anything well. But I love doing it. I love creating. And so it was a process of, you need to back away from all the ins and outs of running, creating a business, or whatever you called what we do. And create. This is going to bring it a well-roundedness to it. And so I honored that. And I feel like I learned that there's many parts of me, and I need to honor all parts. And this was one, creating those and getting over the fear of rejection. Right.
Putting yourself out there,
huge.
it's a big one. Because what if nobody wanted them?
Exactly.
Right. But even if that happened, who cares? Right.
And that's
it was the fact that I made one for myself. I actually got a deck of cards printed and I made them for myself.
Yes, it's an accomplishment. Yeah,
that's it.
For
and
sure.
then, everything else was just beautiful on top of it.
Yes. Right.
Amazing.
Well,
so Lizanne, what about you?
What did I learn? I learned a lot. I was really inspired also in the making of it, just so happy because it was simultaneous with my intuition, growing. And, it's funny because when I think about it now, I've always taken pictures and been an artist, but when I realize now it's almost like someone taps me on the shoulder and says, take a picture of that. You know, when I take photos, it's like a feeling like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought of it as, you know, intuitive in that sense. But yeah, so I had so much fun taking pictures. And then we did the deck, and then I was, you know, we have to market them, Instagram. Oh yes, please. We want followers on Instagram, everyday art cards. So I'm already, I wanted to keep taking pictures, you know, do another deck, but we have a bunch that we already have done. So I got really excited about taking pictures for Instagram, you know, using the cards. But what you said, Andrea, too, someone in my intuitive practice group said to me, I was talking about the cards, and she said, I think, you know, oh, they're going to help so many people. And I was like, really? Like help people? I hadn't really thought of it that way. But I have gotten feedback, you know, from people, yeah, that it, you know, has played a role in their life. I also like to sometimes leave one out, and I've heard stories of people who leave them out, you know, and it kind of seeps into your subconscious. That's probably feng shui also. You know, you get the message
for sure.
to you. Yeah. So that was good. I learned about that. Anyway, yeah, I can't think of what else. I'm keep learning.
And it sounded like it kind of bonded you as friends too, or as, you know,
Yes.
as co-creators. That's really fun that you did it with somebody. That's really neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was funny too, because we had so many pictures, and we started using her pictures because I was always an artist, and, you know, Helen wasn't, but is, you know, because we all are, like, we're all intuitive. So we started using some of her pictures, and then we would say, she said, you know, I said, when I took that picture, and she was like, no, I took that picture. And I was like, no, I took that picture. She goes, I took that picture. I was like, do you want me to go on my phone and show you where I took that picture? She was like, okay, I believe you. But, you know, that's another thing, was like the commonality, you know,
we're merging together.
Thing.
Right.
Yeah. Like sort of merging, you know, with other people, and the creativity, you know, whatever, you know, imagery, a picture speaks 1,000 words, you know, just sharing and relating, and, you know, that kind of communal aspect of it, I guess, was really awesome also. Yeah, I wasn't that scared about putting them out there for some reason. Maybe because it took us so long. We were like, wait, when are
like it's finally here.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Well, and my last question for you ladies is, what do you hope people get from these cards? What is your hope as people get their cards and they have them? Andrea, what is your hope that people?
Oh, my hope is that their
them?
intuition just opens right up, that they throw away the rules that they've been taught, and throw away, you know, being stuck in a box with one way of thinking, and shuffle those cards and throw them down and let it come to you. What is the message, right? It's really hard for a lot of people to break free, right? Or to feel empowered enough to use their intuition. They feel they have to be told, right? Well, it's how we've been brought up, right? Told everything. So I hope when people use these that they just have an experience.
That's great. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened to me. So that I'm sure that's happening to everybody else too. And Debbie, what do you say?
Well, you know, when people use these cards, I just hope that they feel a deeper connection with their spirit team. It's just another way of opening up that two-way communication that they can hear from their spirit team. And so that is my hope, that it just really ignites that communication back and forth to help guide them and know that they're not alone, and that they're absolutely loved and cherished, and they want to communicate with you. So
right. Yeah. And
that's
Lizanne?
the best feeling that I learned in my classes. I really learned that, and it's just, there's nothing like it, to know that you have that kind of support all the time. It's just, I cannot even. But okay, so yeah, definitely to inspire intuition, further intuition, but just to build on that too, I answered some of these questions, like I typed them up today. So, you know, I'm a Buddhist for many, many years, like 46 years. And the difference between a common mortal and a Buddha is the way you see things. That's the only difference. You know, you're not like whatever. It's just how you see the world. So, and I one time heard a really great description. A moment of enlightenment is when you open your front door on a spring day, and you're like, oh, you know, the breeze, the beauty of the color, you know, the warmth, finally, you know, you're just so grateful and so in awe, like that moment of awe. And you're just, and you feel it's all, so that I obviously have moments like that. I believe we all do, but I can't honestly say I'm always in that state. So that is another, you know, goal of the cards too, is to just look at something every day, and just see like the beauty. You know, I don't know why this just came to my mind. One card that was Helen's, she was saying, you like that? You want that? I was like, I do. It's we're funny, we're opposites, but we end up agreeing on everything. Let me find this card. Here. It's a picture of her daughter, I guess, getting her hair. It's called acceptance.
Oh, right.
And she just is getting her hair brushed or something like that. But what a beautiful moment. It says luxuriate and let the sun warm you. So I guess her daughter was getting, you know, her hair was wet or something. She was drying her hair, but, you know, little things like that, being able to spark a moment, you know, for people where you just like, wow, you know, I'm so happy I'm alive kind of a moment. I'm feeling that now, by the way, in your presence.
How sweet. Well, and I think that's so true. I love this card too, this little doggy. So it's like, you're right. The everyday beautiful little moments that you capture in these cards. And I love it.
That was at an art fair of all things too. I was like at this art fair, and I was like, because it was white background, white little dog. And
so cute.
Yeah, perfect. I know, it's so cute. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I think I really just feel like these cards so reflect you. You know, each, you know, Andrea, yours reflect you, Debbie, and Lizanne. And I think, do you think that it's that, you know how they say everybody has a book inside them? Do you think everybody has a deck of cards inside them?
Ooh.
I kind of do now. I kind of think everybody does, because I think these are so reflective of you guys, and I wonder if that is the case.
Yeah, you know, we all have our own dictionary, right? In communicating with our spirit, right?
Yeah.
We have our own pictures and things in our mind, and when our spirit team tries to talk to us, whether it's in our dreams or in our wake time, and we're like, why am I thinking of that right now, you know, whatever the picture is,
right?
So, yes, I think everybody has a dictionary of images or words, or all of it. I do. I think.
Yeah. And I think we need them all, because I think, you know, it is kind of like, you know, I always talk about, you know, every light worker, and it's all hands on deck right now. We all need to be doing what we should be doing, because it's all intermingled. You know, one person, one reader is not going to be right for everybody. We need everybody out there helping, you know, do what people want to get, want to be better at, or want to understand, or want to, you know, have a closer, you know, communication or relationship with spirit. It's all is so different. So we kind of need everybody. And I think the same thing about cards, because I think I know that I pull out certain decks for certain things, or how I'm feeling, or what's going on, or
I have like 100 decks.
We need them all. I know that's the thing, right?
I guess the question is, where's your deck, Kim? Because I remember
dun, 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 here it is. No, it's not here.
We had a chat a couple of years ago.
I'm thinking on it, and this hopefully it will inspire me, but hopefully it inspires other people to start thinking about what they can put, because I do think that this is this really is a sacred process, what you guys have done. It is taking something that did not exist. It is absolutely from spirit. It is making it physical, and it's here forever. You guys, it really has, you guys made your mark, in so many ways.
Well,
So
that's
thank you so much, you guys, for being here. And I will have all the information. Don't worry about everybody's cards and everything below, and channels and cards and Instagram pages and everything else below. And thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. Kim and Debbie, thank you so much. Your classes really changed my life. And Andrea, you changed my life in many ways too, and inspiring us, to do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Intuitive viewers. See you
Thank
again.
you.
Bye.